to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best, 'cause it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. There's lights that burn so brightly, in the northeast sky they shine. From the place that Geordies worship, where legends wear number 9. You can travel right round the world, even meet the Pope in Rome. But nothing beats the feeling of when you come back here to home. No matter how life changes, we'll never be far apart. The northeast always home, and it's always in your heart. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV, and yes, another show again, guys and girls. And tonight I'm joined by John Sinclair. How are you, John?
Good evening to Tony. I'm absolutely great, and I was going to do a show on the neat, but that's going to be put back tomorrow to Fans Forum. But I'm absolutely fine, my guy. How's things for you?
Yeah, not too bad. Getting ready to go on my trip tomorrow to Edinburgh, but yeah, I'm absolutely fine. Yeah, so I'll take some video footage and I'll maybe put a couple of vlogs on when I'm in Edinburgh. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah. But
see what happens.
Yeah, I might just do a little bit of travel vlogging, but you know, I suppose something different. And yeah, so before we get into the show, everybody, if you like what you see, then please smash the like. It really does help that channel up the search results and makes it found easier. So if you're on the show now, smash that like or smash it on your way out. Thank you very much indeed. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe. Free to do so, helps the channel grow, and the bell notification will tell you when I have a live show, a pre-recorded video, or any upcoming shows as well. So after hitting that 400 mark last night, I'm now up to 409 subscribers. So yeah, channel's going from strength to strength, which is absolutely fantastic. And it wouldn't be a channel without all you guys out there who are subscribing and coming on to watch so far. So it's absolutely amazing, and I thank each and every one of you as well. If you do want to make a donation to the channel, there will be a link going in there in a moment, and you just follow the instructions on that. I'm just going to go into some comments. Sefton says, evening everyone. Interesting comments coming from the club. What Eddie's going to be ruthless. Yeah, definitely. We're going to get into that, Sefton. Ian says, evening Tony. Evening to you, Ian. I hope you're well, mate.
You got Ian. You got Sefton.
And Ian says, hi John, hope you're both okay.
I'm great, Ian. How's you?
K2 Shearer, good evening to you, sir. He says, did you both see Fabrizio Romano say what we are after this summer? 2 attacking players, 1 central mid and a full back and a central back. Siontsu is free this summer. Yeah, and a right-sided. I haven't seen what Fabrizio Romano said. I did see that he said we would be busy this summer, which is something I said even before he come out with that. I said we would be busy this summer. So, yeah. But Sancho, would I want him as centre back? Not at all. No, he might be free, but I'm not being funny. When we've played against him, he's looked a liability. You know, that day when we took Leicester apart down there 4-2 a couple of years back. So I don't. So yeah. So Sionchu, I'm not really 100% convinced if he was to come. Whether he's on our radar or not, I do not know. He may go back to Turkey. Who knows? We've got Billy in the house. He says, just popped on to leave a like before I head off to do our show.
Big up, Billy.
Have a great show tonight, Billy.
Have a great show
tonight. Yeah, have a great show, Billy. And yeah, and just watch it on catch up, mate, later on. And thank you very much indeed, mate. Milinkovic Savage agent says we've offered for him, so do we believe he's agent? Again, K2, it's one of them, but we will get into all this. And Billy says, Tianchu on a free is still way too much, Dosh. Yeah, absolutely, Billy. I totally agree with you, mate. To be fair, Billy, I don't really rate him. I mean, that, like I say, that couple of years ago when we had Cabbage at his man Johnny 142 at Leicester, he looked a liability that day. When Johnny Evans went off injured, he just didn't look up to the task. And games that I've seen him playing for Leicester, I just think he doesn't fill you with confidence. And I don't even think he gets in the Leicester team as much now. So that just shows you why he can't get. If he can't get in the Leicester team, then how's he going to help us go to that next level where we want to go to? He isn't that sort of player, unfortunately.
I don't think he's good. I don't think he's good enough.
He's dog shit, says Billy.
I mean, the thing is, right, with him, I watched him a couple of times. I'm not being impressed with this guy. And let's be real. I mean, there's better defenders out there, and he would not be my choice at all whatsoever. He definitely the centre back, but he would not be the guy because I could see Jamal Lascelles score at the end of the season.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's just one of few, John, isn't he? I mean, we're going to get into all the nitty gritty of who we think is going to be staying, who we think is going to be leaving the club, and also about our most used substitute this season as well. I mean, but no, not Sayanchu. I would say no, definitely not. Send him elsewhere, as far as I'm concerned, because is he right for us? No, he's not going to take us to that next level. And there's better than that. And people can talk about it and say, "Oh, this is what's happening," but at the end of the day, is he in Eddie House thinking? I'm not so sure he is. And there's got to be better out there that we can get a hold of other than Statu. So yeah, again, we will. It's just one of them. We just wait and see. But I personally don't think it will happen. But if it does, then we back them. But I can't really see it happening, to be honest. Just let you know, guys. I have put the link there in the chat. So if you did want to make a donation, just press the link on there, and it'll follow the instructions. Just jump into small comments, John, before we get into it. Cool. Gary says, "Good evening to you, wonderful people, Tony and John." Thank you, Gary D. Good evening to you, mate.
Good, Gary D.
K2 says, "I rate him highly. He's a top centre back. Has injuries. We do need another though with pace." Yeah, we do, K2, but I don't think we'll be going for Sayanchu somehow though. I can't see that happening, to be fair. Lee says, "All right, Tony and John, how are you keeping, lads?" Yeah, Lee, I'm absolutely fine, mate. All ready to go on my trip tomorrow to Edinburgh for a couple of days. So Edinburgh Wednesday and Thursday, and then I'll be back Thursday evening. About 9:15, I get back to Peterborough. And then the drive home, so it's about 10:15 it'll be when I get home. But yeah, looking forward to it. And like I say, I will do a little travel vlog and put something on of some sort, so keep your eyes out for that one. K2, that Kieran Tierney's class, but can we afford to buy an injury-ridden left back? He's top quality, but the injuries... Yeah, I know, that's the thing. I mean, yes, yeah. I do rate Kieran Tierney highly. Very highly. Kieran Tierney is he is a cracking left back. And he came from Celtic, but now he has done it in the Premier League with Arsenal. But the only problem is it's the injuries, as you say, Kato. The injuries are the bad thing about it. And that's the thing. Do we want a player to come into the club who's got a horrendous injury record? That's the problem. He's got the quality, but it's keeping him fit. And so we've got to work this one out. Is this the sort of player we would want? In terms of the quality of the left back, yes, that's not pulled into question. The only question and concerns that I have, and I'm going to ask John for his opinion in a moment, the only questions and concerns I have with Kieran Tierney is the injuries, and he's missed a lot of games through injury. And we don't want to be carrying passengers. We don't want players in the club where we're going to have to think, oh, now he's picked up an injury, he's out for 6 weeks, like we do Wilson. Like when Wilson picked up that little thigh strain against Man United, and he was out for 4 months. So we don't want that happening. We want to make sure we got players who are fit. And the Eddie Howe's intensity and pressing game, you've got to be really fit to play that game, and that's what we need. And can Kieran Tierney keep up with the pace of that for a season? I'm not sure he can. I mean, John, what's your opinions on what I've said about Kieran Tierney, and what's your thoughts on it all?
I can see where you're coming from. You're right. He has got injury problems. When he was at Celtic, that guy is quality, absolutely quality, the best left back in Scotland, right? But he has struggled with injuries in the past, in recent years. But this season, he's played 25 times in all competitions, and he started all 6 of the Gunners Europa League games. So he is getting games this season, right? But if he keeps over the injuries, right, Kieran Tierney, that guy is going to be a fantastic left back. I rate this guy. I rate KT, always rate him. But at the end of the day, it's the injuries and that, you see. So for me, personally, you need to think about it very, very carefully and say, do you want to take on this player? You just mentioned there, Tony, you can't afford to carry passengers, yeah? Tierney can defend properly. He gets forward. He's got a lovely left foot. He can score goals as well. And do you know what? I wouldn't have a problem having him. But when you do your medical, please do a thorough medical on his injury record sort of thing, because he does carry a lot of injuries. It's a shame. And he's only 24, 25. So he's still a young left back. And yeah, just be careful.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, thing is, I think we do a stringent medical anyway at Newcastle, so I don't think there's going to be a problem with that as such. But yeah, it's one of them. We just got to wait and see, and see what happens. And yeah. And I'll get into some more comments. Lee says, hit the thumbs up, everybody, to help Tony. Thank you very much indeed, Lee. K2 says, I'm really hoping we get Madison and Diaby to solve that attack we didn't have in the final. Wilson was a statue and Miggy hid, Diaby won't. Yeah, we'll get into all of that as well. Tony, if I had a choice centre-back, I'd want Tomori. He's English and he's quality. Yes, he is. He's one of the best centre-backs in Italy currently.
Agree.
And why Chelsea ever got rid of him, I do not know. I don't know what was going through their minds. I think it was Thomas Tuchel who got rid of him, I think. But to get rid of a player of that quality, Chelsea must be looking at that now and thinking, why did we get rid? And the thing, more importantly, is why is he not in the England team more? That's the problem. Why is he not playing for Gareth Southgate in the England team? So that questions are. He probably needs to ask Southgate. Northumberland says, John, you had any more bids on your scarf?
Newcastle ones, that is.
Ian says, are you getting the train to Edinburgh? Yeah, I am, Ian. So I'm drive from home in the morning, and then we get the train from Peterborough to Edinburgh, first class. So it's so we sit there, and it's about 3.5 hours because it's the quicker train going up, because the first stop's not till York. So it's the quicker train going up, but the longer one coming back, and we're just going to have an overnight up there. Because what happened was we had £100 back from LNER, because back in December we had our tickets and our seat was booked obviously in the first class, and this lady refused to get out of our seat, and instead of the train manager having the balls to say to her, look, you have to move, he instead moved us elsewhere. So LNER compensated us for that. So we used that with having the travel card and everything like that. Rail card, it's £105 return first class to Edinburgh and back. So do you know what? Absolutely use it. And you get food. It's all food and drinks free on there as well. So why not use it? And that's what we're doing. Doing it midweek as well. So it's cheaper again for travel. But yeah, that's what I'm doing here. And he says, yeah, Tierney was class at Saturday. Yes, he was, and I totally agree. He is a class left back. It's just his injury record. That's what concerns me the most. Lee says, could do with a good goal poacher and someone that can header the ball in the box as well. Yeah, yes, Lee, I totally agree with you on that one. We do. We need a goal poacher. Wilson's just gone way off the boil at the moment, and I think he has to sit on the bench, I think, on Saturday, and Isak come in his place. K2 says, top right back, Frimpong from Leverkusen, because I'm sorry, it's okay having a young right back from West Ham, but he's not Prem level. He's never played in this league, so give him time to sign a proven European wonder kid. Again, we'll see what happens on that one. So I'll just go to the next comment in a moment. Just got to write this, sorry. Northumberland says, I'd take Ivan Toney back tomorrow. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, definitely. I would, but the problem is, one, he's got this FA thing over him at the moment, and two, not only has he got the FA thing hanging over him, if he gets out of that somehow and he gets found not guilty, then the problem is at the end of the season, depending what he finishes on goal tallies wise, because we don't know how much he'll finish on at the end of the season, Brentford may want in excess of 80 million for him, and who can blame them, because he's got quality, and I think there'll be a few clubs looking at him. Yeah,
he's a quality player, Tony, but is he really worth 80 million quid? His contract's up in 2025, so I mean, he's got 2 years left on his contract. 80 million. I mean, you have to ask yourself the question: what has he won? Has he won a title? Has he won a trophy in his career? No, he hasn't. But 80 million, I think that is, for a guy, that is a lot of money. That's a lot of money for a striker. 80 million quid.
Sefton says it'll be interesting summer for transfers. Who's out and who will be coming in? That's the question. It is Sefton, and we're going to get into the nitty gritty of like who we think is going to go and who we think could come into the club. Jake says, anyone saw the video of a Toon fan in the Man U end? I haven't, no.
No, I haven't.
Oh, I'm going to have to check that one out. I mean, is it on? I gather it will probably be on YouTube, but yeah. Going to have to look at that one and find out and see what's occurring on that one. But yeah, that'll be interesting. Lee says, think we should swoop the wingers over. Swap the wingers over. Yes. This is what I've been seeing as well. Yeah, this is what I've been seeing. We should swap them over. I've been saying this for not just weeks but for months. Get Almiron on the left, put him on the left, and we still don't get him on the left. I'm going to bring something up on screen in a moment anyway, and I just hope this sort of helps people out a bit as well, because I know I've talked about it, but then if I haven't shown anybody, so just bear with me, guys, while I bring this up. One second, and then I'll just read Ian's comment, and he says, "I'll give you a wave when you go through. Berwick Tony live beside the station, lol." Yes, please do, Ian. Please do. Thank you, mate. That'll be great. Davey's in. I've not seen you for a while, Davey. Where you been hiding? But yeah, nice to see you this evening. And he says, evening all. Evening to you, Davey. Evening to you, mate. Where have you been hiding? And what did you make of the cup final? Get your comments in, Davey. What did you make of the cup final the other day? We had plenty of possession. Let me know your thoughts, Davey. That would be absolutely fantastic, mate. So yeah, I'm going to share this on screen, and I'll just take Davey's comment off screen in a moment. Here we go. Okay, so this is Mickey Almiron. And what I'm going to show you is I'm going to go through what he done back it in the MLS before we signed for Newcastle. So I'll just pull that up. That's his heat map. So I'm going to go back to the MLS, and this is 2018, by the way. So this was before he came to us. Now, what I'll do is I'll zoom that up a little touch as well. There we go. Oh, hang on. I may have zoomed up too much there. Let's find it. Where has he gone? There we are. So that was his heat map back in 2018. Now, if you look at that heat map there, you can see he plays on the left, but comes inside from the left. Very rarely is he on the right. He's more left-sided on that graph there. Now that's 2018. Okay, so I'll go to a different year now. So if I take that down and we'll go to, say, so if I just zoom this back down because it'll make it easier for me. That's it. So if we look at, say, 2017 in the MLS, again, there's a little bit of bright reds on the when he's playing on the right, but again, it's mostly on the left, and he comes in over into centre midfield. Now, to me, that would be better the way Miggy is playing. That would be better if Miggy was playing like that for us. Now, most importantly, I'm going to go to when he first came to Newcastle under Rafa Benitez. So when he first came in to the Premier League, which was the 1920 season. So now under Rafa, it's a bit mixed. He's played a bit on the he's played some on the right and some on the left. So he's played all over for Rafa. Sorry, that must be under that's under Steve Bruce. Sorry, that is. So that's what he did there under Bruce. But under Rafa, sorry, I put the wrong year on. Sorry, guys. There we go. Under Rafa, on the left. So, and he only played 10 games under Rafa because Rafa was only there for half the season. So, as you can see there, under Rafa Benitez, he's played again on the left-hand side, drifting in. Obviously, under Bruce Cabbagehead, whichever one you want to call him, he just didn't have a clue. He just made him run around like a headless chicken. I mean, so we're seeing that now. So we're seeing that back then under Benitez. Now let's fast forward to Eddie Howe. And so we'll go to last season's stats first of all. So last season, doesn't play a lot on the left. He plays more on the right there under Howe. So we'll fast forward to this season now. Current season. Now, look how much he's playing on the right under Eddie Howe, and he's hardly playing on the left. To me, I know they've got him down as a right winger on here, but I think he should be more on the left. I think he's more devastating on the left. If we just quickly go back to the MLS before he joined us, back in 2018, well, he joined us 2019 because it was the January he came to us. But back then, he played 37 games, started all 37. He scored 13 goals and 11 assists. Yes, we know this is the MLS. We know this is like the classes is a Mickey Mouse League to what the Premier League is. But that's coming from the left. Now he's crossing from the left is 28% per game accuracy. Now, if we compare it to, say, this season, his crosses are only 15% from the right. So that tells me straight away that that tells me straight away that he's better on the left. I mean, get your comments in the chats, guys. I mean, what's your take on what I've just shown you about Miggy? You know, where he's played in the MLS, where he plays for Paraguay on the left and comes in as well. Under Rafa, for them first half a dozen games he played on the left. Now, we know Eddie likes an inverted winger, but is it coming to the time that we should start swapping him around and giving him a shot on the left and see what he can do with his left foot and see what crosses he can whip in? Do let me know. And before I ask John, I'm just going to go into some comments first of all.
Yeah.
And Davey says Trafalgar Square. Yeah, I went down there on Sunday, Davey, but there wasn't many fans there when I got there. Coffee says, hi, Tony and John and all. Hi, Coffee. Hope you're well.
Coffee.
Gareth, good evening. Gareth, he says, good evening, Tony and John. Still gutted after losing the final, but proud of the team. Better times to come. Do you know what, Gareth? It absolutely is, mate. And well said, yeah.
Absolutely nailed it.
I mean, Amanda Staveley wants to win everything. So, and that's, again, I'm going to come out to that with John, because obviously I put a video up this morning, but I'm going to ask John for his opinions as well. Davey says, it wasn't what I wanted result-wise. We played better second half. The Fat Man U played our normal game. Our squad depth this week. We will win next. Go. Yeah, Davey, I mean, yeah, that's a thing. Our strength and depth isn't great, isn't it? And but you know what? We got there. The lads did us proud. They're very disappointed not to have got anything out of the game. I do believe if we'd scored, we probably could have gone on and scored another. But it wasn't to be. And but yeah, all in all, a great effort. Gary says, what do you lads think of Sunday Man U selling their scarves, selling them on eBay? Do you know what it is, Gary? It just shows you how disgusting it is that people can make a profit off something that they haven't even paid for. That's free. That was given to them free. Irrespective if they're Man U fans or anybody. But I still find it a disgusting act. And if it was Newcastle had done that and Newcastle fans were selling them, I would be disgusted, because, to be honest with you, at the end of the day, you should treasure that. But there again, that just shows you how much Man U fans are spoiled, because they don't treasure nothing. Even Ten Hag is arrogant, and he's already proven that now. He walks out the press conference without picking the trophy up, and they said, oh, do you want, what about picking the trophy up? He says, all right, we'll get another one. I thought, hang on, that's arrogant, sorry. And that's a man who's just won his first trophy in England, and that's all he can say. If that was Eddie Howe, he probably would have gone back and picked up, but he wouldn't have let it go. So it's, yeah, arrogance will never win, and West Ham will hopefully smash Man United tomorrow night. Ian says, will anybody buy them? I doubt it. Well, I don't know. There was one that was on the... there was one on which had 7 bids, and it was a £48 apparently. But again, eBay may take them off, so let's hope eBay do that. Coffee says, after Chelsea missed out on signing Andrea Santos, the Premier League chiefs urged the FA to make it easier for clubs to sign foreign players. I thought they signed Santos. They missed out.
I thought they got him, but I don't know when he's going to come, though. I don't know when he's going to join. That is the thing. So they definitely got him. We was after him as well, by the way. But they got him for something like 16 million quid. But it just goes to show, Tony, we be linked with him for around 25 to 30 million quid. So it just goes to show, do not believe on the transfer stuff as well. Do you know what I mean? It's all guesswork, and that's been proved.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Right. Let's get into the... LA Coffee says, by easing restrictions on work permits. Oh, okay. I think you got to play a certain amount of games to have a work permit as well. So I'm not 100% in the ins and outs of this, Coffee, but maybe it's something that may have to be looked into in the future. But at least it's one player Chelsea isn't getting through the door. Ian seems to suit him best on the left. Yeah, definitely Ian. Yeah, when you look at them stats don't lie. Davey says, team done the best. That's all you can ask. Absolutely, Davey. They are, they've done us proud. The lads did us proud. And, I went down to Wembley. I made the last minute announcement, the decision, to nip down there and go and see just go and feel the atmosphere on Wembley Way. And do you know what? I thought it was absolutely fantastic and absolutely brilliant. Lee says, just scumbags, Man U fans. Absolutely. Joe says, you're right, Tony and John. Yeah, Joe, thank you very much. Absolutely great, mate.
You got Joe.
Davey says, if it was Toon gave us scarves, I would never sell it. Definitely not, Davey. Definitely not. I mean, gee, remember going to the England game against Slovakia and they had T-shirts on the seats. And there was like red T-shirts, white T-shirts. And it was like if you were in that seat, whatever colour, we had red ones and you put the red on. So when everybody sat there, you had it looked like the England flag. So it was absolutely brilliant. And I've still got my T-shirts. I didn't go and put them on eBay and say I'll sell them because I got them free, you know. It's memories at the end of the day. That's the way I look at it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Don't sell it. If you get it, keep it.
Yeah. Lee says, look like the Man U fans come off a London tourist bus, not many colours. No, do you know what it was? When I was walking around Wembley Way, I didn't see a lot of Man U fans with their tops on, you know, and I was like, why? Why haven't you got a Man U top on? Why have you not shown your colours? You know, I mean, I was standing there, I was freezing cold because I had my jumper in my hand, but I didn't care because I was showing me black and white top off, and I was proud because I'm proud to be a Geordie, and you know it. And I wear my shirt with pride. I don't care where I am. I couldn't care if I'm walking through the middle of bloody Sunderland or Pennywell. I couldn't give a shit. I'll still wear my black and white top, and they can chase me down the street. I don't care. Exactly. I'll still wear it.
True.
Jake says, I comment on the link to that video on your video. All right, okay, mate. I'll have to check that out. Yeah. Coffee says, quite a few Man U fans are saying the owners paid for the flags, same way their owners paid for their scarves. I don't know whether war flags arranged or anything without the help of our owners. Right, Coffee. The thing with war flags is it's donations. So they rely on donations. And when people donate to them, that's how they can come out with all these different flags. Yes, maybe the owners do put a bit of a donation into war flags, but mostly it's the fans. That's why when they say to you, please leave the flags at the stadium, it's because they've got to be bought. And it's with the donations they receive. So that's how they get the flags, Coffee. Lee says, our fans were so great, made us all proud, best time in the world, team did well. Yeah. I mean,
yeah. Right,
John. So obviously this morning I put a video out. You sort of mentioned this last night as well. You know, and so Loris Karius. Now, I thought he played all right on Sunday. Yes, the 2 goals. The first one he couldn't do nothing about. The second one, not really, because he was down on the floor waiting for the Rashford shot. And it looked off Botman's foot. So that deflection's going to take it over you. And I don't care how good a goalkeeper you are. You know, that could have been Donnarumma in goal, and that could have happened to him as well. So it doesn't matter who you've got in goal. But I thought he played all right. He pulled off some good saves in the second half, especially that one from Weghorst, which he tipped over the bar. It was a fantastic save. Man U fans thought it was funny when he went to take a goal kick. They done what, you know, that happens in the Championship, where the fans go, whoa, your shit, They've done that to him, and I thought, why? You know? I know lots. Now, if you look at Karius is wearing a pair of brown goalkeeping gloves. Now, apparently, people were taking the mickey out of him over this and saying, oh, why is he wearing a pair of World War II gloves for? I mean, it's just stupidity. The media were dying for him to fail, and because he didn't, they didn't get that story to have a go at Karius. I mean, I didn't think he played too bad, John. I mean, now, I've read the story about Inter Milan looking at him, but they're looking at other goalkeepers also. Now, yes, his partner may be a presenter on Italian sport TV or whatever it is over there. Now, maybe that might be a factor. You may think, I want to go there. But the thing is, he is happy at Newcastle. That is the fact. He is happy at Newcastle. Now then, give me your thoughts, John, on Karius.
Yeah, first off...
does he deserve a new deal?
100%. I'd rather have him than Martin Dubravka. I mean, Dubravka could bugger off as far as I'm concerned the way he treated our club, yeah? Because he didn't want to play second fiddle, did he, at Newcastle? So he went to Man United, right? Playing second fiddle to them. Do you know what I mean? Didn't work out. Macy said the other day that he nearly cost them a goal and he nearly made a boo-boo as well. So they let him go, come back to us, right? That's a number 2, which I think is wrong. I think Karius should be our number 2, not Dubravka. He's got to work for the bottom again, right? And I thought he had a decent game. He had a great save from Fagel as well. He made a couple of saves in the second half from Rashford and Bruno Fernandes. And look, at the end of the day, right? And I thought he did okay. He had no chance of Casemiro's header. That was down to Fabian Schär. He should have done better than that. And the deflected goal came a Bosman's boot, and he did a little about it as well. But at the end of the day, right? I mean, I think he'd be a decent number 2 for me. And my worry is if this last works in Italy, which is does sports in Italian channel, right? She's Italian, and it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen there. But for me personally, I think he'll stay as a number 2 because I know for a fact Inter Milan will look at goalkeepers as well. And basically, and Danovic is going to retire at the end of the season, according to reports in Italy, which I truly believe that's going to happen. He's been a great servant, but at the end of the day, it's going to be tough. It's tough. I think he'll stay at Newcastle because I think he should believe in the project. And we gave him that break. We gave him that chance. We got him from the scrape heap, by the way. I'm not going to lie. So I think he should repay us.
Yeah, definitely. It all depends whether Eddie Howe wants to keep him. That's the thing. It's down to the club, isn't it? It's up to the club now to decide what they're going to do. Are they going to keep Karius or are they going to let him go in the summer? That is the question.
That's the thing.
There's no doubt he's got qualities, John. He showed that on Sunday with his saves. He just needs that bit of luck and that bit of run. And he gets a run of games, and I think he'll be absolutely brilliant. I mean, he could be back to his best.
Totally agree. So I think he'd be better off staying with Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? We've got that problem solved. If he stays with us, he could save us millions in the transfer market, by the way. I still think in future years we get Diogo Costa. I really do believe we're going to get him from Porto. Yeah, that's what I think. I'm not an ITK no, but if we're going to get a goalkeeper, a world-class goalkeeper to take him from Nip Pup in future years, Diogo Costa will be my keeper because he's a brilliant keeper. But look, at the end of the day, right, keep Karius as number 2. I'd definitely keep him 110%. I mean, I've seen enough from this guy. Forget what he did 5 years ago for Liverpool. I'm only judging him playing with Newcastle United.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'll go through the comments because I think we've got comments about this. Lee says, give Karius a new deal. Coffee says, Karius plays one game for us and has already attracted the attention of Inter. Exactly. That's the thing. They must have saw the performance and thought, hang on, he's got something about him. Joe says, Newcastle will only get better and better and win cups and leagues in the next few years. Absolutely, Joe. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Coffee says, Karius should stay and Dubravka can go to Inter. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a number 2.
Joe says, I think Karius had a good game. I like how John says Bruno Fernandes says coffee.
Well, Tim Vickery even says that as well. So it's like a bit of Nash. I mean, he says Joe Linton the funny way. He said Joe Linton as well. Joe Linton as well. And he also said that another name he says in a funny way as well, like Fred Fresh as well. Fresh.
Yeah.
So Tim Vickery, he's your South American expert. And I tell you what, this guy is absolutely amazing. Check him out tomorrow, man, on TalkSport about 3:15. He is brilliant.
Gareth says the media just wanted Karius to fail, and he coped with the pressure. Well, absolutely, Gareth, 100%, mate. And that's what they wanted to do.
And you know what? Sort of, he came in and he kind of proved us wrong. Okay, I'm not going to blame him for the goals, but I tell you something, that save of Fagos was absolutely fantastic. And he made a couple of good saves, like I said, late in the second half. But at the end of the day, right, he just needs to come to a club where to get his confidence back. That is no other playing for Eddie Howe.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to come back to your comment in a minute, Lee. Ian says, I think we should keep him. Yeah, definitely, Ian. Absolutely, 100%. Davey says, Karius has been good. Yeah. He says, I would have him as Dubs to F off with his winners medal and jammed up his a-hole. Yeah, absolutely, Dave. He'll probably get his winners medal through the post, and yeah, that's the thing. As long as he doesn't take it to the training ground and wind his teammates up, which I hope he wouldn't do. Now, obviously, before this show's about talking about we're going to be ruthless, but I just want to quickly go to Lee's comment, John, right? Now, I mentioned this in my video this morning, and he says, what a wanker Simon Jordan is talking about Mandan. Now, my video this morning, John, I don't know if you didn't see it, but what I said was, no. So basically, Simon Jordan has now come out and said, Amanda is all PR spin. He said what she said about the club, like saying about the fans, how it shows they were overwhelmed by the amount of fans who turned out to London. He says whether they were didn't have a ticket or whatever. He said it's all just PR spin, because she should realise that she's owning a big club that's got a huge fan base, and she should know that they've got the, that they were going to turn out in force. But the thing is, John, I mean, Simon Jordan, we know he's got this. We know the history of Simon Jordan, what he's like. I mean, the guy's a complete and utter tool. He owned a football club which he failed on. Let's be real, he failed. He wasn't a great owner of Crystal Palace. He's told her to dial down a fake humility. That's what Simon Jordan has also said. That she's got to dial it down because need. I mean, it's just obviously beggars belief. I mean, this is what he said, John, right? I'll quote what he said. Ford said she was so proud of the fans. She said everybody was crying. I was crying. My son was crying. We were all crying. But they were amazing. We had the flags going. The passion from everyone has taken us all on this journey. She says, we will win the Carabao Cup. We will win the FA Cup. We will win the Champions League. And we will win the Premier League. She says, that is how amazing the fans have taken to us on this amazing journey. And we are very privileged to run Newcastle United. And she says, I'm very humbled, and so is the owners of what's happened today. Now, she says, yes, Al Ramayan, the chairman, was so excited to come, and he loved the scenes in Trafalgar Square. Now, Jordan has said it's PR spin. He says, I think they've done what's anticipated that you would do. This is PR spin. You knew when you were buying to a football club, and that if you got to a League Cup final, you will be inundating London with fans. He says, so let's delve down all this fake humility and look at the reality. You are the owners of a big club in England. It's ridiculous to turn around and say you didn't expect that. If I bought Newcastle and set the town on fire, I would know that Newcastle getting to a cup final, that London would be inundated. That's because they've got a remarkable fan base. Asked if he was anything wrong in congratulating the fans, he says no. He says, but I just think it was wonderful PR spin from Amanda. Now, his co-host, Martin Keown, didn't agree. And he says it's not PR spin. And Simon Jordan says, well, it is. And he says, no. Keown says it's not. He says, that is pure emotion. He says, she got emotional at the end, and the fans would never have heard that under Mike Ashley, would they? He says, so to say that we don't, really deserve the fans because their support is so good, I think is heartfelt. Jordan says, but that's rubbish. He says, because that ownership model absolutely deserves those fans being behind them. He says they've walked into a football club, they've spent more money in 1 year than Ashley probably spent in 5 years, says Jordan. He says, you bought it off the tyrant and given the town a feel-good factor. So the one good thing you deserve is an absolute support and fan base, and you've got them to a cup final, he says. And following on, he says, it's entirely appropriate that Amanda Staveley is patted on the back for the appointments that have been made by hers and others. And as a fan, if you can't get behind what's going on now at Newcastle, then when in God's name will you ever get behind it? So what do you make of what Simon Jordan said?
I think Simon Jordan is an absolute prick. And excuse me, French, by the way, I don't normally say that on people's channel, right? I mean, I can't take this guy seriously. This guy despises Newcastle United, right? You can tell, yeah? I'm not going to take him seriously. When he says nice things about Newcastle, I ain't going to listen because he just go back to revert the type sort of thing. Simon Jordan's got some gripe with Amanda Staveley, right? Let me be clear. Amanda Staveley, right, has done a wonderful job, right, making Newcastle great, right? He always said that she always said she's going to make us great. We have new owners, great manager, and Eddie Howe, cool. And what really winds up is, he also said that Newcastle are a big club in Newcastle. He also said today, if Newcastle was based in Spain or Germany, would it be a big club? Would he listen to them? And he said no, right? Newcastle United are a massive, massive club, right? And Simon Jordan is jealous of our success, yeah? We've got a fantastic fan base worldwide, right? We took 100,000 people, right? In London, yeah? Now, you tell us how many fans would take that many in a competition, in a massive competition in a couple of days' time, yeah? Simon Jordan is an absolute monumental bell, and I'd love to get him on my show. So if Simon Jordan's come on my show, right, and he's listening, I'll give him an invite, yeah? And he can come on. Simple as that, my guy. Simple as that, yeah? That he doesn't like Newcastle United. He ain't the only one. Like, you got people like Jason Cundy, right, saying the same thing. He doesn't like Newcastle United, yeah? And there's a few others. Gary O'Bonnell doesn't like Newcastle United either, yeah? But there's many on Talk Sport, yeah? People on Talk Sport love to wind Newcastle United fans up, yeah? And that really, really hacks us. I can remember back a year ago, right? Amanda Staveley put him in his place, right? And it's on there. Check out for yourselves, yeah? And I tell you something now, Tony, right? Don't listen to Simon Jordan, right? Yeah. Amanda Staveley, you're doing a wonderful job, right? We love you. You carry on what you're saying, have your opinion, right? Simon Jordan is just bitter. He's jealous of our success because he knows that we're going to win something under these people. Do you know what I mean? And by the way, he's a failed owner at Crystal Palace. Let's not forget that, right? Yet, he has to have a go at Newcastle United. It's a question for you, Tony, right? And people in the chat, yeah? If the Saudis took over like a Man United, an Arsenal, a Liverpool, a Chelsea, right? Would Simon Jordan come out and wind them up like he does in Newcastle? I'll give you the answer to that one, shall I? No, he wouldn't. And I don't like to rant, but it really, really hacks us off, right? Now, this guy has to diss Newcastle United every single time. Martin Keown should have knocked him out, right? And big up to Martin Keown, by the way, because he understands. He gets our club. But obviously, Simon Jordan don't, yeah? Newcastle United are a massive club, right? Worldwide, not just in Newcastle, right? It's as simple as that. Whether he likes it or not, right? He's got to get used to it. I hope we get top 4 this season. I hope we win a trophy, yeah? And I'll tell you something now, we'll see what Simon Jordan's say. Is he going to place us winning a trophy or winning a title in future years or getting the top 4 Champions League? I'd love to see that. I don't think he will because he knows he doesn't like these Saudi ownership running Newcastle United. And I'll just say something to Simon Jordan as well before I let you back on. Right? We're not here to make mates, Simon Jordan, right? We are here to compete for honours, trophies, titles, yeah? All the big things, Champions League, the lot. Amanda Staveley is right. We're going to win all of them.
Thing is, John, I bet he probably doesn't even watch my channel. He's probably never heard of my channel.
Probably not, but I'd love to get on my channel. I'd love to get on my channel.
John, he wouldn't come up. He wouldn't dare come on a Toon channel, John, because he knows he'd get absolutely slaughtered. That's the thing.
Could always try.
But you know what? If he came on, I probably wouldn't slaughter him, John. But I would certainly ask him the questions and ask him what his agenda is on Newcastle United. And I wonder if he would be truthful. I would quite happily challenge him to come. I'll quite happily have him on my channel. Quite happily. But you know what?
You can come on mine's, Tony. If I get him on, you can come on mine's as well. And then you can ask the questions as well. You understand what I'm saying? But let me be real. Let me be real, right? I mean, the only channel he'll probably go on, right, is the bigger channel. But not our channel, though. Let's be real. As he haven't got the guts, he haven't got the bottle to come on. Like you said, Tony, he won't. It's a shame.
No.
Because at the end of the day, I've given him an opportunity for him to come on my channel, right? And we talk about this.
Well, I mean, Steve Wraith even offered him on his channel, didn't he? And because he went on TalkSport and spoke on TalkSport to him. And he didn't even bother saying he would come on there or not. And he's never bothered once to say he would come on there. So just shows you, John, he's not going to go on anybody's channel. No. I'm just going to dip into some comments here.
Yeah, man.
Ian says, I think we should keep him, Karius. Yeah, Karius has been good, says Davey. Sorry, we saw that one.
You saw that one.
Sorry, not got the specs on. Coffee says, Fernandez's name keeps reminding me of Nando's. Davey says, Jordan was in Spain, but Jim White bugged up the tune. Yeah, Jim White bigs us up a lot. Coffee says, if Amanda hears what Simon Jordan says, she'd never go on TalkSport in future until Simon steps down. She went on when the guys and girls went down to London for the protest that time.
Yeah,
and
led by
he tried to talk her down then, you know, and
he did.
She put him in his place. That's for sure.
Exactly. You know what it is like, Tony? She never even mentioned his name. I'm telling you. And you know what? I think she handled it really well. I think Simon Jones taking it back that day. He was really taking it back because at the end of the day, right? I mean, that's just where you got to take over. And when you got to take over, Simon Jones had egg on his face. I'm telling you. His face was a picture, man. Bosh!
He's better off sticking with mobile phone, says Lee. Yeah, absolutely. Gary says, Paul from Toon Review put a video about Simon Jones. Yeah, I have put one on this morning as well, Gary. If you haven't watched that, have a watch. Obviously, I talk a bit about Karius first, but then I move on to the Simon Jordan thing, so that's on there. Davey says, Jordan's a proper wanker. Let's hope he loses his £1,000 bet to Jim White. Yeah, it's a charity bet as well. Let's hope so.
Getting the top four.
Harry says, I'm running a bit late, but better late than never. Evening all, hope you're all okay. Yeah, we are, Harry. Thank you very much, matey. And he says, personally, I don't think Simon Jordan's worth ranting about. Let him say what he wants instead of making our fan base look like a laughingstock by biting and everything. He says, it's not so much biting at him, Harry. I just find it stupidity from him that he's coming out with these comments. A man who is supposed to be well educated, as Simon Jordan is, a man who has been a football club owner like Simon Jordan was, and we know he made a total loss of that. He's got no right to criticise our owners. That is the problem. And whether it's PR spin from Amanda or not, does it really matter? Do we really care? No, because at the end of the day, we all care about one thing, and that is Newcastle United. But just remember my video this morning. War Mandy is a northern lass. She's from North Yorkshire, from Ripon. And the thing is, at the end of the day, she knows all about Northeast. And she knew about Newcastle United. And if it wasn't for Amanda Staveley getting these backers in, like say PIF and the Reuben brothers on board, there would have been no takeover. So if our owners want to rant, rave and say how great it was having the fans there, because let's be real, when we see other teams go to the finals and the owners are so proud of the fans and that coming out, do you hear them coming on in about them? No, you don't. You hear nothing. So when the likes of Leicester and that have won an FA Cup and they've said, oh, the fans have been out in force, do you hear Simon Jordan coming out saying that, because I can't pronounce the guy's name, but we know his nickname's Top, who's in charge of Leicester City, the owner's son, the late owner's son, I should say, Top. He comes out and says, oh, it's great the Leicester fans been there and everywhere and all over London. Did you hear Simon Jordan come out and slate him off? No.
No.
Because it's Newcastle United. That is why.
Exactly.
And we're going to end it on that one. But yeah. Gareth says, Jason Cundy was calling Man U fans hypocrites for praising Newcastle fans and the team. And another tune hater. Jason Cundy is another one. Take the D out and put a T there because that would be more suitable for him. But yeah, definitely. There's nothing wrong with fans praising other fans. Harry says, plenty of people who hate NUFC. I couldn't care less because one of these days we will all have pie in their faces when we lift a League Cup, FA Cup, Premier League, etc. because it's going to be happening within 10 years. Yeah, exactly, Harry. He says, our club is here to compete. We will get stronger and stronger. That's the thing we will. Once we start getting the FFP sorted out, we will be flying. Lee says he won't have the balls, John. Absolutely. Eddie Howe's Black White Army. Do you think we'll get Champions League come May? I don't think we will end up with Europe, which is ideal. I think we will end up with Europa. Sorry, I got you. Which is ideal as it allows us to get our foot in the ladder by competing in Europe. Well, do you know what it is? I said before a ball was kicked, you'd win the Carabao Cup, which we didn't win, but we got the final. And I said we would finish 7th, which is the Europa Conference. Now, we're not in the top 4, but we've got 2 games in hand over Spurs. The problem with Spurs is Conte is not part of their team at the moment. So with Conte not being on the touchline, Spurs are going unbeaten under the assistant manager. Because every time he's took charge of a game for Tottenham, they've never lost. So we're hoping Tottenham slip up. But remember, Tottenham's still got to come play us at St James's Park. So that is it. That is a 6-pointer. Now, we've got 2 games in hand over Spurs. Win them 2 games, we go back above Spurs. So, I mean, realistically, if we finish 7th this season, I wouldn't be disappointed because it was where I said we would finish at the start of the season. So to finish there, I wouldn't be disappointed. Yes, it's been nice that we're in the top 4. Yes, we've dropped out of it. We just need to get back to winning ways. But I think if we do get back to winning ways, let's see where we end up at the end of the season. Anywhere in the top 7 will do for me. Even if it's as low as 7th, that will do me 100%. Niall says, what's Simon Jordan been saying? Just talking about Amanda, just saying that, basically it's all PR spin, what has been coming out with about the fans in London. I think, did you not catch up my video? I think you caught up my video this morning, Niall, I think. Or if you haven't, catch up with it anyway, mate. Lee says, Amanda, the queen of the tune, absolutely. Niall says, brilliant show, Tony and John. Dropped a like. I always like what I see, but the question is, where is Tony? Answer is hiding somewhere at Wembley. Where is Tony Answer hiding somewhere at Wembley? I went down to Wembley Way, if you've seen that video, but I didn't get to the games. Unfortunately, I wished I was. It's Jamie O'Hara and Andy Goldstein, not the other ones who badmouthed Newcastle with Simon Jordan and Cundy. No, Jamie O'Hara's actually quite all right towards Newcastle. And Andy Goldstein, to be fair, isn't too bad either. So, no, I think them two are okay, Neil. Coffee says, Simon Jordan's comments are a PR stunt for TalkSport to get people to engage in their channel. Exactly what Junior Turner said the other night. They do this, so as soon as people click on it, TalkSport are making money. Coffee says, Spurs are Jekyll and Hyde. Yes, they are. Give Ashby a chance, says Lee Kelly. Yeah, he's got to get fit first, hasn't he?
He's not match fit yet.
Sefton says, I think we'll finish within the top 6. Yeah, good shout. Neil says, not seen it, Tony. We'll catch that morning video later. I may have missed that. Yeah, exactly. I mean, right, now, John, and Eddie says, John, you sold your scarf yet?
I never had one in the first place. I'm black and white. Why don't I want a United scarf?
Yeah. So, right, John, I don't know if you've seen this, but I saw this, and apparently we are monitoring this player. And to me, do we have a chance of getting him? I'm not so sure, John. I'm going to put him on screen now.
This is SMS.
Who?
I bet you it's Milinkovic Savage.
I think you may be wrong.
Because
here he is. 18-year-old Evan Ferguson of Brighton, the striker. Apparently, we are looking at him. Thoughts on that, John?
Very interesting choice of players we'd after, but he's such a raw talent, this guy. He's quick, he's strong, and he can hold the ball up as well. This guy is absolutely brilliant. He's a young lad. I think he's going to get better and better and better. For me personally, I don't think he'll leave Brighton because he's happy at Brighton. And I'm going to be honest, right, with these Tony Bloom, right? They are tough negotiators, right? And if he's going to leave the club, they're going to command a lot of money for this guy. I'm telling you. But would I take him? I would, 100%. He's getting in the first team of Brighton, and I think he also would pay faith back to the Amex club as well. So for me, I think it'll be difficult, but I think he'll stay at Brighton. But you never know in football, Tony.
Yeah, but we're not the only club that's monitoring him either. Also, Chelsea, surprise, surprise, and Tottenham Hotspur in the race for him as well.
That's very interesting. Well, I'll tell you what, it goes to show he's doing really well. I mean, I don't know how many goals he scored this season. I think he's got about 6 or 7 this season, if memory serves right. And he got brutally tackled from behind by Fabinho. Yeah. And I don't know if he's out. I don't know if he's back playing on the grass, but he's a good player. I'll tell you what, if he's available, I'd definitely take him. But we definitely need a striker, 110%.
Yeah, I totally agree, John. I mean, Evan Ferguson is playing, by the way. He scored tonight against Stoke in the FA Cup. So he is playing, John. Evan Ferguson.
Oh, he's playing, isn't he?
Yes, he scored. He's put Brighton ahead tonight after half an hour.
Wow.
So, against Stoke City. Now, that's in because obviously Dan Ashworth knows him well. You know Evan Ferguson, the Irishman. Ferguson, he's only 18, but he joined Brighton from Bohemians back in January 2021. So 2 years ago, he signed for Brighton from Bohemians in Ireland and Northern Ireland, by the way, under Dan Ashworth. So, sorry, Bohemians Island. So he's come there under Dan Ashworth. So Dan Ashworth knows him. He is a talent, John, without a doubt. He's got a talent there.
He certainly,
I mean,
yeah,
this
yeah.
season he started 3 out of 7 games, scored 3 goals and 2 assists. Now, that's just in the Premier League. If he's hitting them heights in the Premier League at 18, this kid's going to get better and better as it goes on. And thing is, though, John, how much is he going to be worth? How much is he going to cost? I mean, the thing is, he's got a contract till June 2026, so he's still got quite a whack on his contract. And also for scores got his value down at 1.1 million, but I think it'll be a hell of a lot more than 1.1 million, that's for sure.
Definitely.
Brighton will not want to sell him, John. And to be honest, I think it'd be better if he stayed at Brighton to develop his game even more.
Agree. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, like I said, he only just joined it. He's been there for 2 years. And I think he wants to pay Brighton. He's getting in the first team, which is good. I just hope that, well, in my opinion, he should stay. But if he's available, then I would not mind having him at all. Indeed, I think he's a cracking young player. And he's just going to get better and better and better. I mean, he's playing for a fantastic manager in Roberto De Zerbi. And he might want to stay at Brighton because of him.
Yeah, absolutely, John. I mean, he's just...
That guy is brilliant. And Brighton were not... Brighton was selling for a lot of money. A lot of money. And I tell you what, they're tough negotiators as well. They'll set a price on to say what the player's worth. They are a selling club, but it'll be on their terms, Tony, and no one else's.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, well, look what Brighton did with because he don't go with this, so I can't see him going either. So I don't know. And I can't. I think with him being a young kid, he's not going to kick up a fuss about wanting to leave either. So I think he'll be one to watch, but I think he probably needs another season or two before you think, right, okay, he's serious enough to be getting him. He could be the next Irish way. He could be the next Irish Wayne Rooney. Who knows? Who knows, John?
Yeah, absolutely. And why not? I mean, at the end of the day, right? I mean, you just said that he could be the next Wayne Rooney, the Irish Wayne Rooney as well. And like I said, for what I've seen of him, he looks very, very impressive. He's quick, direct, and he bullies defenders as well for a young lad. 6'2", and he's just decent.
Yeah, absolutely, John. He is. He's absolutely decent.
He is.
Before I go on to this next comment before the way, guys, if you like what you see, please smash the likes, please. It really does help the channel with the search results. So smash those likes whether you're watching the show or on your way out the show. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, please hit the subscribe. Free to do so, helps the channel grow. And the bell notification will tell you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows as well. And also pinned to the chat, there is a link if you would like to make a donation to the channel. It's totally voluntary, of course. Just click the link and follow the instructions. Thank you very much indeed. So we're going to go to the next comment, John. And so it comes from Eddie Howe's Black and White Army. And he asks, John, what's your thoughts on the Lazio midfielder that's been linked to Arsenal and to us? And I'm not sure his name. It's Milinkovic Savic.
Milinkovic Savic.
There he is on screen now.
This guy is absolutely fantastic. He's Premier League ready, and he plays for Lazio. He's got a market value of 60 million euros. I think they'll get that just because he's that good a player. But what I like about him, I mean, he's a box player. He likes to get the end of things well. So like Joe Willock, by the way, but better than Joe Willock. He gets to the end of free kicks. He can tackle. He gets booked a lot, by the way. He's got 7 bookings to his name this season. 6'4", and I tell you what, he'll be a perfect CDM for Newcastle. And like I said, he goes forward a lot. Box. He's a great passer of the ball as well. It needs to be. And I'll tell you something, Tony, if he's available, right, go and get this guy. Yes, he's 28. Yeah, but he probably want a new challenge as well. But also, he's been linked with Arsenal, Juventus as well. Whether they can afford him now, I don't know. It was linked to him, by the way, but don't know if they're going to get him. But like I said, he is available for the right money, and I think he may have fancied a new challenge away for Italian football, and I'll take him all day long. This guy, what you see is what you get. I say it again, he's a box player. He can tackle, he score goals, he's a great passer of football. He's just complete midfielder, and I think he'll be doing bits. He could make a difference and get us in top 4 or Europa League. He is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, definitely, John.
Big fan.
Yeah, there's a few CDMs out there, John, that would fit the bill. You know, I mean, there's lots of them out there, John. That's the thing. There is lots of CDMs out there that could fit the bill. This guy, Edson Alvarez, he's another one.
Yeah,
quality Mexican. I mean, brilliant. Oh, you've got this guy, Manu Kone from Borussia Mönchengladbach, 21-year-old Frenchman. Again, youth player, young player, but time on his side. One hell of a player. If you've never seen this guy play, if there's any Bundesliga games on, go. I urge you to watch them and just watch this lad's play. He's terrific. Also, not forgetting, this guy will have 12 months on his contract in the summer and is gettable. Ruben Neves of Wolves as well, John. So there's another one who would fit the bill perfectly as well. Premier League experience.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, Ruben Neves is a quality player. I've always said Ruben Neves. He's only 25, coming on 26. And he's, like I say, you've got everything with Ruben Neves. He gets put a lot, I'm not going to lie. But again, he scores some cracking goals. He did one against us, by the way. And he is so influential to Wolves. He's got 18 months left on his contract. And he's not going to sign a new one. I think he'd be on his way. But going back to Manu Kone as well, I mean, also Liverpool, PSG, and Leipzig are after him as well. So he could be staying in Germany if Leipzig come to him as well. And Leipzig are in the Champions League at the minute, and I expect them to qualify next season as well.
Yeah, so, yeah, they could be in front, but who knows, John? Who knows? He could go anywhere, couldn't he? That's the thing. So
this is the thing. And they're fourth for the minute in the Bundesliga. They're way in touch for Champions League. I mean, Bayern's top, Dortmund second, Union Berlin third. They were top, by the way. And then Leipzig and Freiburg in touch as well. So the top 3 goes in Champions League in the Bundesliga. But I expect Bayern, Dortmund, and Leipzig.
So we're talking about anyhow being ruthless, John. Before I go back to any more comments. So we're talking about anyhow being ruthless. So in the summer, obviously there's players now are playing for their futures, basically. Because this is a club that is no longer stuck at the other end of the table. We're at the big end of the table, the top end. Now, to be in that level and to maintain them levels, you've got to have players who can be at that level, to be at that next level. You can't carry passengers. Now, this is where, as a manager, you've got to earn your corn more. You've got to be ruthless. No room for sentiments now. And I'm where Eddie Howe will be well aware of that. He'll know that he's got to start being ruthless and start getting rid of players because, 1, bring the wage bill down. 2, help with FFP, even if you can get some money for them. Now, the first player that comes to mind that I think should be the number 1 player out that exit door as soon as that transfer window opens is this man, Ryan Fraser, or as I call him, Michael Owen Mark II. Now, if anybody's wondering why I'm calling him Michael Owen Mark II, the reason I called him that is because he's exactly what Michael Owen was. Gets injured, but he's got an attitude problem like Michael Owen. And when he goes on international duty for Scotland, he turns it on like Michael Owen did for England. But when he comes back to the club, he does nothing. Now, to me, he's now training with the under-21s. So he's not even part of the first team now at all. As far as I'm concerned, as soon as that window opens, Ryan Fraser, pack your bags, off you go. Because to be honest with you, I don't want you here no more. What do you think, John? Or do you think I'm being harsh?
Totally, you're absolutely right. Just how it is, mate. I mean, look, at the end of the day, right? You just don't hardly see him. He put Scotland first, then Newcastle, right? I mean, when he first came, I thought he wasn't a bad player. I thought he was decent. I thought he's going to make a difference. You know, he's going to work hard for midfield. He could play left back, he could play left wing, and he could make a difference. Score some odd goals here and then. But for me, I think Ryan Fierce, that's a waste of time and space now. Do you know what I mean? I think get him out in the summer because he needs to be shifting. Because I'm not going to lie, right? But he's got no interest to play for Newcastle United. Where is he? Has he not been kidnapped or something? Do you know what I mean? I can't lie. He must have been, because you've not seen him. His name has to be mentioned. And Eddie Howe doesn't want it at the club the way you've seen acting at Bournemouth. Real talk, yeah? He's complete and utter waste of time with that football club, yeah? I mean, he's alright, don't get us wrong, but I think he needs to be playing regularly first-team football. I mean, Brentford and Southampton won him, by the way. If Southampton stays up, I think Ryan Fraser should go there because he made his name at Bournemouth in the South Coast. I think he needs to be aware. Everton wants him as well under Sean Dyche if they stay up as well. But for me personally, get this guy off the wage bill. He's wasting a squad space. He's keeping a squad space for someone else who should be coming in. And he's got 2 years left on his contract. Get this guy out. I'm being ruthless. I'm being real with this guy. Do you know what I mean? Because he is taking the wholesale mick, right? He should be knocking on Eddie Howe's door and say, look, I want to play. I want to play. Give us a chance. Let me show what I can do. That I'll commit to this football club. It's none of that. None of that.
Totally agree, John. I mean, Eddie Howe says, are we still looking at Chris Rigg from Sunderland? I don't know what's happening with that one because we were supposed to be going to get him transferred. Deadline day didn't pull off, so I don't know what's happening with that one. So at the moment, I can't tell you on that one. Rolly says, hi, Tony and John. Hi, Rolly. Hope you're well, pal. Gary says, James Madison's still a target for Newcastle, I hope. Apparently so, according to the media. Yeah, we are still looking at James Madison. I mean, he was a target for Spurs as well, but I think we could get him in the summer. It's doable. It depends how quick we get this deal done. And because the longer it goes on, I think after that, then you're looking at maybe other clubs coming in. So we need to get in there quick and get it sorted. And let's hope that's what we do.
Absolutely. You know what it is, Tony? This is my motto, right? Get your targets in early. The way by me that does their targets, right? They get the players in early, right? For pre-season. I want to see the new players coming in before pre-season. And I don't want people coming out to us and say, yeah, it's plenty of time, John, it's plenty of time. Yeah, there ain't plenty of time. You get your targets in, you get the players that you want, get them in pre-season so the new players can get to learn about the city, anyhow, the teammates, and away we go. If you can get someone in before the deadline, that's a bit of a bonus, yeah? But identify your targets in now, be prepared, be proactive, get them in now. And I'll give you an example. Make an offer to Leicester for James Madison. Most European clubs does this, by the way. Chelsea's already done it, and Kunkunku was off for Leipzig as well. Get your players in early, get your targets in, and give it a go. And the thing is, give them what Leicester want. He's got 12 months left on his contract. Get that fee agreed. Job done.
Yeah, totally agree, John. Harry says we need a striker. Callum Wilson's finished. Don't think he's completely finished, but I think if we got any more strikers in, I think he'll be a bench player next season. One player we could get in free in the summer is this guy, of course, Marcus Thuram, heavily linked with us for the January window. Didn't end up getting him, but he is on a free. Mönchengladbach have confirmed he will be leaving on a free transfer at the end of the season. Can play as left winger or a front. It's a no-brainer in my eyes. Go and get him because this guy is a good player, is a good goal scorer. And I would 100% say, you know what? Go and get Marcus Thuram because he could do he could be a bargain on a freebie as well, and that's the thing.
Do you know
On a
what it is,
free,
Tony?
it's low risk.
Yeah.
Sorry, John.
So you know what it is to Marcus Thuram? He can speak perfect English. That guy can speak perfect English. I think he went to school in America, and his English is absolutely beautiful. And you know what it is, right, with this guy, right? He's on a free again. See if he's available, but I've got a feeling he'll be off to Italy, with Inter Milan.
Not necessarily, John. So we'll find out in the summer, but we'll see. I mean, he started 19 out of 21 games, and he's got 11 goals and 3 assists a season. So there you go. That's his record. So the stats ain't bad either.
No.
And yeah, I would happily have Marcus Thuram any day of the week.
Same here.
Because I say it's a low signing. It's a low risk signing, John.
It is.
Jake says, do you think Bruno will go to Madrid? No chance. No chance whatsoever. It's not happening. I think Newcastle are going to give him a new improved contract, but there's no way Bruno is going to Madrid. So honestly, mate, I would forget about that one. Don't worry about that. Bruno's going nowhere. I heard Bruno's signed a new deal at Newcastle. Yeah, absolutely, Harry. That's what I've heard as well. Brighton forward 5 to 6 million, says Harry. Yeah, again,
more than that, baby.
Would be,
more than that.
And Harry says the next Irish Robbie Keane. Yeah, definitely, yeah. Coffee says there was a Twitter troll again today, who made a photo collage of all Newcastle YouTubers. Tony's pick wasn't on it, but there are a lot of known faces on it. Again, this is just absolutely ridiculous. If it's one of our we don't know if it's our fan base doing this or not, or if it's just Mackham's, but you know what? It's just disgusting. I just find it really, really disgusting. At the end of the day, we do this. We don't have to come on here and give up our time. We could just sit in the house and do whatever we want. But no, we come and give our time to everybody. And I know everybody appreciates it that we come on, because, you know, sometimes people feel down in the dumps. So they want something to lift their spirits, and they'll think, oh, hang on, let's go on and watch a YouTube channel tonight. Watch the Newcastle channel, see what's happening, see what's being said. And the thing is, you then lift everybody's spirits back up. And that's what we're here to do. That's what we love doing. That's why we do it. We're passionate. We're passionate about Newcastle United, you know. And, I mean, I've been through the thick and thin with Newcastle United. I've seen the rough end of it in the 80s. I've seen the great end of it in the 90s. Then I've seen the bad of it when the fat man took over. And now we're seeing the great times coming back again to this fantastic club and well-supported club. So if them trolls want to be out there putting pictures of people's YouTubes on there, then I'm sorry, they live a very sad and lonely life. And that's all I've got to say on that.
Exactly.
By the way, is John's picture on there?
Be interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Coffee, let us know where you saw it, mate, and we'll have a look. Lee says, do you think Neves would hit some of the... Would you think Neves hits some of the players?
Nerves. Not Neves, nerves.
Oh, nerves, sorry. Nerves hit some of the... I don't think they were nervous on Sunday, to be fair. It's just we couldn't score. We didn't test it here. That's the problem. Only Matt Ritchie's free kick was the thing that was the only kick that was on point. Harry says, would you sign James Ward-Prowse if Southampton are relegated? Probably not, Harry, because one, he's 28, so he wouldn't fit the bill. But then if we're going for Savage, he's 27, so it wouldn't make sense, would it? But Ward-Prowse would probably come at a huge cost. And so I'm not sure. I'm not really sure, Harry, to be fair. It all depends how much Southampton want from. That's the problem. And it's whether James Ward-Prowse wants to leave Southampton. Yeah. Coffee says, what about Ruben Neves? Yeah, we were just talking about maybe as a target. Anyhow says, we are crying out for strength and depth. It's no good taking the likes of ESM off and sticking C. Ritchie on. Again, this is the thing. but we put Richie on the other day, but he put that free kick in that area, and that gave De Gea something to do, because it was the first delivery that we actually got right. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not saying we should have. Can you imagine if Richie had come in at half time? He could have made a difference with these deliveries. He could have said to Trippier, look, I'm taking the corners, and took the corners. And, he could, one of them could have just landed plumb on somebody's head, and it could have been the back of the net, and it might have been who knows? But it's all ifs and buts now. So, Richie, let's get one thing straight. Matt Ritchie has been a fantastic servant to this club. He could have gone to West Ham, but he didn't. He chose to come to us when we got relegated with Rafa, because he wanted to improve his game under Rafa Benitez. Now, he came to us. That guy has given his all for this club. He's one of these players that gives 100%, and he's a leader, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch. In the dressing room, he's a very good talker, apparently so. And you can see it with Matt Ritchie. When you see him come on the pitch, he's already talking. So I get what you're saying, like sticking Ritchie on. But the other thing is, that's all we've got, unfortunately. We haven't got anybody else in depth. That's where the strength's going to come in. But all I'm saying on Matt Ritchie is, let's remember, he's been a cracking servant to this football club. And he'll always be down as one of the legends, probably, because he was a brilliant player. Yes, his legs may be going now, but I'll tell you what, he'll still do a job for somebody, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Eddie, he says, Ryan Fraser got dropped to the under-23s, which says it all. Has to be the first one out the door come January, especially given that he turned the chance down to go out on loan. Yeah, well, in the summer and June, yeah, exactly. He's got to be. As soon as that transfer opens, get rid. Richie actually puts in a decent shift, but look, lacks pace as Coffee. Yeah, he does, yeah. Eddie Howe decides who we like club, and he decides we've got to get behind that decision, despite what we think. I think Richie could end up staying at the club and being a coach eventually. I really do. I've got that feeling. Send him to Darlington, says Lee, about Fraser.
Yeah.
National League North. Coffee says Chelsea 10 points off the drop zone, still have to play most teams that are above them. They're definitely not getting top 4 or top 6 this season. I know that's just strange, isn't it?
Definitely not. There's no way.
Harry says he turned down the opportunity to go out on loan. Totally wrong. He's taking the mick out of our club. Get him gone. Yeah, absolutely. Harry says, I think we'll sign James Maddison. One thing our ownership is they don't sign a player in one window, they go into the next and then sign that player. Absolutely. Sefton says, still a long way till the 1st of July when the window opens. Is that when it opens, Sefton? Is it the 1st of July? I'm thinking that's pretty late. Normally it's June, isn't it?
It was supposed to be July first.
Harry says we need to sign, but you can still sign before the window opens. But you just can't.
Yeah, you can. You can. You just can't get them in until that time.
Yeah, can't register them then. Harry says we need to sign players early, give them a proper pre-season. Going into the Premier League, we have next season. Yeah, absolutely. He says many clubs these days sign players before a window's even open, so we should do the same. Yeah, definitely. Totally agree. Marcus Thuram on a free would be an excellent move by the club, plus it helps FFP. Yep, definitely does. Thuram can play on the wing or as a striker. Yep, he certainly can. Bruno's here for yes, says Lee, definitely. Correct. Eddie's house says we build a side around Bruno and Botman, etc. Definitely. Ian says, I know this is a Newcastle channel, Tony, but does John think Celtic can win the treble this season? No, that's fine. You asked that question.
100% yes. Won the Scottish Cup. The league's in the bag. And then the Scottish FA Cup is going to be in the bag as well. So, look, I mean, Ange Postecoglou's done a wonderful, wonderful job at that football club. He's been linked to a number of clubs as well. And I hope he stays at Celtic for many, many more years to come. Yes, he's ambitious. Yes, he's in his late 50s, but the guy's still ambitious. They've got some cracking players at the club, and long may it continue.
Yeah.
Just stop that.
Yeah, just some FA Cup scores at the minute. Full time at Stoke City 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 1. Evan Ferguson with the winner for Brighton. Currently at the moment, it's Leicester City 1, Blackburn 2. Um, Blackburn took the lead through Dolan and then Smirodits, and then Inacio pulled back for Leicester. 3 minutes left in that game, but still 2-1 Blackburn. Leeds United are losing away to Fulham 2-0 with goals from Polinia and Solomon. And Man City are currently only winning 1-0 away to Bristol City at Ashton Gate through a 7th minute goal from Phil Foden. And there is still over half an hour left in that game. And so that's that one. And I don't think Gateshead are playing tonight. Just having a look. No, they're not. Not tonight. Harry says Millwall Luton QPR will be Chelsea's away days next season.
Oh,
gosh, couldn't it? That'd be funny, wouldn't it?
600
Problem is,
mil.
Millwall are beating Luton tonight, so they're flying in the Championship the minute they're in the playoffs.
They are.
We don't want Millwall in the Premier League, though.
Definitely not.
Especially West Ham won't want them in the Premier League. Can you imagine that? Whew. I can't.
Dear me.
I like coffee. I don't want to mention the handle of the troll in the chat, but Gemma commented today 18 hours ago, I never knew Chip was a YouTuber.
I didn't either.
No.
I didn't either.
Can you not mention the handle, Mike?
I wouldn't mention it on there if I was you, mate, because if
No.
fine suits there, I wouldn't do it, Tony. That's just my advice.
No. We'll search it. We'll find it. Don't worry. We'll have a look. Did you see if John's picture was on there, Coffee? Lee says, need 5 players. Yeah, definitely. Harry says, I hope Celtic feel up the jersey.
Oh, man. Too cool.
How much do you think we will spend in the summer? That is a good question. I do not know. But the thing is, our owners will know all the figures. That's the thing. Remember, when we first had the takeover, we could have spent up to 500 million. So because we've only just spent over 200 million, that figure might rise again by the beginning of next season. So plus with sponsorships coming in the summer, things are going to go up. So yeah, we could be able to spend a lot more. So who knows? But we'll wait and find out.
I'll give you
And
an
he
answer to
also
that
says-
question if you want, Tony, which we need to spend in the summer. We need to spend, if you want to get close to teams like Man United and Chelsea's, Liverpool, right? And Arsenal, we need to spend, if I'm honest with you, we need to spend 250 million quid because these owners, right, don't want to be finishing in 6th, 7th, 8th anymore. They want to be in the top 4. They want to challenge the top 4. Yeah, we need to spend huge in the summer. We've got absolutely no choice.
Yeah. He says, imagine Millwall in the Premier League at the Den and on the road with their fan base. Yeah, doesn't thinking about. I mean, I remember back in the 80s when Millwall and Chelsea used to come to Newcastle. And when people used to go shopping in Newcastle, especially when it was a match day and it was Millwall or Chelsea coming to the town, the tune would be clear by 1 p.m. of shoppers. They would be gone and away. And then all the shops would be boarded up because when they used to come to town, they used to smash the windows. Now, the fan base has always been thuggery, but at the end of the day, I don't think the Millwall fans have mellowed since then. I know Chelsea have as such, but I don't know about the Millwall fans. And apparently they reckon the Millwall ground's in the middle of a housing estate or something, I think. I wouldn't want to go there, to be fair. And I think that's what we'll just see on that one. But Millwall, I don't think would get promoted. Even if they did, they'd go straight back down. He says, I've just heard that we could spend 250 million next season, but I can't see it happening.
thing is, though,
Keep
you're
the
going to have
faith.
to. You're going to have to, because some of the players that got here are just not going to be. I mean, Eddie's going to be ruthless. These players, sort of thing, not good enough. Then you're out the door. Simple as that. We need to freshen the team. Yes, they've been great in the past, great servant, but bottom line is we need serious players to come and make a difference, like James Madison, Musa Diaby, yeah, Linkford Savage as well. I mean, Kvaratskhelia would be nice, but I don't think that's going to get rid of him. There's just no way. But it's good. We've got to have to spend huge. I know people's going to say, "Oh, because FFP, blah blah blah," but we're going to get new sponsorship. Probably to get Adidas as well. That can make a huge difference. I think we're ready. We're ready to go.
Yeah, John. Ian says the date for the summer transfer window is not out yet, but expect to be early June, he reckons. Pete, hi Pete, hope you're well, mate. He says,
Big up, Pete.
Going around that Ivan Toney has admitted to breaking FA betting rules. So if that's the case, he'll be getting banned from football, John. So he won't be going anywhere.
Nah.
But again, as Pete's just said, it's going around, so we don't know if it's true or not. That's the thing. Coffee says, John, PD, Paul, Jr., Paul Grant, Steve, Gemma, someone else's name I can't mention, Chip as and a few others, I don't know their names. So you've been mentioned, John.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. So listen, at the end of the day, right? I mean,
shops were closed early, early, that's right.
Have a look.
It's fine now. It's just fine, isn't it, John? That's the thing. I mean, it's
exactly. Yeah, I know we did it, and Gemma saw it as well.
Yeah. Somebody's probably done it, John, but
yeah.
Yeah, Sefton says, I agree, John, at least 200 million or 250 million. It's in the news. Is the news true that Castore will be us in the 23-24? Right, again, we don't know how true this is. At the end of the day, it could be a load of crap. Who knows? Until the club make an official announcement, I wouldn't believe anything you read at the moment. So we'll leave it at that. Eddie House says it's all about FFP. It's holding back in the transfer windows. This goes to our former owner through not generating enough funds in the club. That is the problem with him. And he could have helped us out a lot more, but he didn't. Gary says Millwall fourth in the championship as it stands, lads. Yeah.
What a season they have.
Mentioned about what?
Don't know.
He says Castore will produce thousands of shirts before Adidas come on board. Yeah, they will. I don't know what. Can't remember what he's meant. But I'm not sure. I mean, so we're talking about players going out the club, John.
Yeah.
So another one I'm expecting. Well, I mean, would he go out the club? I very much think he would, but this player, Jamal Lascelles, I think he could go in the summer. I think we got to be ruthless, John. I think we get another centre back in, and I think we get rid of him. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think he's not getting in the team. He's not on the first team anymore. I think he needs to be moved on. Also after him as well, I think he can go back there. But at the end of the day, right, I mean, we need a new centre defender. And I just can't see him get back in the team again. I really can't.
Yeah. I can't see it either, John, to be fair. But, yeah, I don't think he'll stay. I think he'll go in the summer, most for the good of his career as well, because he want to go and finish his career somewhere else. And I think it's only right that he does go in the summer. But yeah, I expect that could be one that could go out the door.
Totally agree.
So yeah, so I think he could go out the door. I mean, do you think he will go out the door in the summer, John? Martin Dubravka? Do you think he'll still be here next season, or do you think he'll be gone?
I think he'd be gone, mate. I really do think he'd be gone. He wants first team football. You know what I mean? And simple as that. He ain't going to hang about being second fiddle. And like I said earlier, I'd rather have Karras second as number 2. He can move on.
Yeah. And I expect this player to go out the door in the summer as well. He's currently on loan at Hull City, called Darlow. I think his days are numbered now at Newcastle. But again, I think for the good of the rest of his career, I think it's better he moves himself on and goes somewhere. Because he's possibly holding his own career back by staying at Newcastle. Yes, he's been a great servant. We've had some good games out of Carl Darlow. We've had some stonkers as well.
Mm-hmm.
But all in all, I think it's time now to move on to some of these players. Now I'm going to go on to the sub that's been used the most this season, John. And do you think he could potentially be going out the door this summer as well? But remember, he's on a very, very, very long-term contract, and that is Jacob Murphy.
For me personally, I think he needs to go. No disrespect, right? But he's been at the club since 2017, and this is 2023. He's been there 6 seasons. Been out on loan twice. For me personally, I mean, he did okay, I guess, against Man U and that shot, which is unlucky. But at the end of the day, I think he needs to be playing in the first team, and it won't be here.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you want to win a title, you want to win championship, you want to get in top 4 and chance for titles. He can't be a part of it. He ain't good enough.
Yeah, I totally agree, John. Totally agree.
I want to win a mentality. I want to win a mentality at the football club. And for me, I just don't think he's good enough. And if you're going to get someone like Moussa Diaby, right, then he's a serious player for Leverkusen. He can make a difference in the Premier League.
Yeah, I totally agree, John. And maybe we've got to look at somewhere different. I'm just going to go into a few comments. Eddie House says Gusto will be producing thousands of shirts before Adidas come on board. Yeah. He says all those names about coffees coming. All right, okay, it's about podcasters. Harry says Lascelles, I think, will go back to Forest as they are 100th signing this summer. Yeah. Davey said, don't mind Lascelles, he's done a good job, but it's time to leave. Absolutely, Davey, totally agree. Mason says Dubravka should go back to Man U, don't you think, John?
To be honest with you, I don't care where he goes, but it can't be here in the summer. We need a fresh face in the club as well. And also, I don't think you go back to Man United. Can't see it.
I can't see Man U taking him on.
Nah.
I like Coffee said, don't think Man U want Dubravka. No, I don't think they do. Dubs can go to F for these winners medal, says Davey. That's fair enough. I like Coffee says Murphy's a strange one. He does well when he's in our team. Aren't we doing well? And when our team are doing well, he's not. Yeah, I mean, he was the only one who come on with that shot the other day, though, and that shot, unfortunately, just had too much bend on it. And but other than that, yeah, he seems to be Eddie's most go-to sub, isn't he? So maybe Eddie trusts him somewhere along the line. Oliver Proudler is iconic, he says. Thank you very much. Please hit the subscribe if you're new to the channel. Pablo says, I hear we may have a huge summer. So reports I've seen, yeah, that's according to Fabrizio Romano. He reckons we're going to be very busy. So let's see what happens. Ian says, I think all of them players you mentioned should be sold or released. Yeah, definitely. Murphy deserves to stay for that wave, says Jake. Oh, yeah, when he waved off Shaletta Cara against Southampton. Yeah, definitely.
It's not all about for that wave. We want one place that's going to do a proper job.
Pablo says, hey, Tony and John, hope you're both well.
Big up, Pablo.
We are fine, Pablo. Lee says, one player to play with a heart on their sleeve, absolutely. Jacob Carlos says, coffee. And Davey says, we have a team of non-finishers, but all nice guys. We need hungry for success players. Yes, we do, Davey. That is a very good comment, mate. I mean, that is the thing. Some of the players we've got in that team are not hungry enough, and we want players who are hungry. And this is why you go out and buy these top players. You want top players who want to keep winning trophies. And I'm not saying Man United are a great side, but if you look at the Man United team, look at the amount of internationals they've got on that side. Casemiro, Martinez, David De Gea, although he didn't go to the World Cup. Dalot, they've got them all. Rashford. So that's what we need to do. Go down the level of getting a lot of top international players. We will get them. It's just going to take time. Paul says, I've never seen more emotionally passionate player like Bruno. Yeah, he was very emotional the other day. He was in tears when we lost that cup final. But you know what? I think it'll make all the players better for the experience, because if we go back there next year, we'll make sure next year we come out there as the winners and not the runners up. Sefton says, I'll feel the same on Saturday. Or how are the lads? Yes, Sefton, absolutely. On the way to Man City at the weekend. Let's hope we go to Man City and put on a performance. I think it's a 12:30 kickoff on Saturday afternoon. Because it'll be on BT Sports, no doubt. Pablo says, can I ask how Casemiro tackle on J7 was not a red when Bruno got sent off for a tackle like that a few weeks ago? I know. The thing is, they check the club badge. That's what they do. It's a strange one, though, Pablo. I do agree. Mason says, John should take some of the Newcastle players to Man U who are out of favour since the Glazers should be staying on.
I'm not saying anything. Because you know I'm a Newcastle fan.
No, you want you to take them to Man United and drop them off there, John.
Some Newcastle, yeah. Yeah, that's a good shout.
Paul says, how can we sign them big players though? According to Simon, no one knows who we are outside of Newcastle. Again, Simon Jordan, don't know what he's talking about. Thing is, we've got Bruno. Bruno's here. And the thing is, players will come to us. It's just about getting us out there. That's the problem. We just haven't been out there enough. But our new owners are making sure we're out there as a brand. And that is the main part about that. So they can, these journalists and that in the media, they can whistle. They can absolutely whistle. So they don't bother us. And we're not bothered about them. So... Coffee says, lots of praise in the media lately about Manu's core of Veroni, Martinez and Casemiro. That's a solid core. We also have a solid core with Pope, Trippier, Shea, Botman, Burn and Bruno in the middle, absolutely. But they don't talk about that, do they?
No, not at all. Not at all.
The ref should get sorted out for next season. Half of them are no good. Yeah, I totally agree, Lee. We need to have an overhaul of the referee, and let's hope in the summer Howard Webb has a good look at this and sorts it all out. Our problem with defence is not with our defence, but the lack of goals. Yeah, again, I totally agree with you, Coffee. It is. It's the goals. That's what's worrying me. We've dried up so much. Paul says, someone said to me the day that Amanda needs to get real and stop being ambitious. The moment someone says, stop being ambitious, it's over. What a plonk. What a plonker. Yeah, I mean, I don't get that one, Paul, to be fair. Why can't you be ambitious? That's what it's all about, having ambitions. To get to succeed, you've got to have ambitions, Like, say, for instance, if you wanted to become an airline pilot, and people laugh at you for being ambitious. But you've got to have that ambition to start with to get there, to be that airline pilot.
Great.
So if Amanda is ambitious and she wants to take Newcastle from here, but to the top, then there's nothing wrong with that because she's being ambitious. And that's where she wants Newcastle at the top, and she'll get Newcastle at the top, but she's got to have the chance. And if people are just saying that, they're just absolutely, well, they can't be Newcastle fans. They've got to be Mackham, surely. Coffee
exactly.
says, what someone said to Simon Jody or Mike Ashley. Paul, oh, he's talking to Paul. Right, guys, we're coming to the end of the show. Been on an hour and 50 minutes, and I've got to get sorted out for tomorrow. John, do you want to give people a shout out where you are, mate?
Thank you very much for having us on the game, Tony. I really appreciate that. It just gets better and better. And you can find us on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube. It's John Sinclair TV. And also you can find us on Insta, John Sinclair 50. And also you can find us on social media. It's John_NUFC 42. And if you follow us, that will follow you back. Also, if you're new to the channel, like what you see, then please go on to John Sinclair TV. Just click on like and subscribe. And, you know, I'll do some shows. I'll do like live reviews, previews, reviews, watch along when I get a chance to do so. Breaking news, transfer news is all there. Fans forms on tomorrow night at around 7 o'clock.
Lovely, John. David says, the ref bottled it on Sunday. I was raging. So was Botman. The ref gave them a foul, and we didn't get anything for the exact same challenge. Botman saw this, and he was fuming and got carded. Yeah, exactly. Totally agree, David. It's Paul says, because people haven't yet come to terms with the project where Newcastle are going to be in the future. They will sharp, though. They sharp will, though. Yeah, absolutely, Paul. Ian says, something wrong if you've not got ambition. Absolutely, Ian. Couldn't agree even more than that, mate. Lee says, I can't wait to see new players coming back in from being back on loan. Yeah. Bye, Tony, John, and all. Great stream, says Coffee. Thank you very much, Tony. Coffee, as usual. Davey says, I was in Gloucester, Bath, in Kensington. Meg, Chelsea, Spurs, Liverpool fans. They all want us to beat John's second team.
Second team is
cheers, lads. Yeah. Cheers, lads. Tony and John, says Lee. Yeah, thanks very much, guys. Yeah, so it's been another great show tonight, guys. As I say, I'm not with any show. There's not going to be any sort of shows tomorrow or Thursday because I'm away in Edinburgh. But I will put down. I might do a couple of vlogs and I'll probably put them on so you can have a little bit of a sneak peek around Edinburgh. When I go on the tour bus, the sightseeing and that. Because I think tomorrow night I'm doing a ghost walk there, so I'm going to go on the ghost tour. But yeah, so if you like what you see, then please smash the like. It really does help the channel up the search results, so smash those likes. Also, if you're brand new at the channel, then hit the subscribe. It's free to do so, helps the channel grow. It also bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. I'll probably be back on Friday night with a preview for the Man City game. So keep an eye out for that one. Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter down there at TonyTooney31. So give me a follow and I'll follow you back. Also, you know where you can find me because you're on my channel now. And I'm currently sitting on 410 subscribers. So thank you very much indeed, everybody. Just going to the last few comments. Gareth says, thank you both. Thank you very much, Gareth. Ian says, great show, Tony and John, as usual. Thank you very much, mate. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much, Ian.
I'll give you a wave from Berwick tomorrow. Paul says, people always wanting the underdogs to win. Man, you've had their time at the top for years. It's our turn. How are the lads? Absolutely, Paul. Definitely. Especially the way Man U fans just think they've got a right to win any trophy. Well, sorry, they haven't. I like Coffee. Enjoy your trip to Edinburgh. It's an awesome place. Yes, it is. Coffee, because my dad was from Edinburgh. So he was born there. Gloucester says, Davey. Yeah, I knew exactly what you meant, Davey. Coffee says, take a picture of the bagpipe player if you see one near the park. I certainly will do. Or I'll even take some video footage. Lee says, give you a wave coming through. Berwick, Tony. Oh, thank you very much, Lee. Davey says, you in Edinburgh, I was working there today on the Royal Mail. Oh, wow. Yeah, brilliant. I've been to Edinburgh many a time, and it's a lovely place, lovely city. I absolutely love it. Byron Burger, lol. So was that, says Ian. Ah, well, there you go. So Ian and Davey were together up there somehow. But, yeah.
Wow. Big up.
Brilliant, guys. Brilliant. But, yeah. So, yeah, it's been a fantastic show again, and it's been absolutely great. And as I say, don't forget to share my channel around your socials, and that way people get to see the channel and they think, oh, hang on, I've not seen that channel. So share any shows you want. But I'll see you on the next show anyway, definitely. But as I say, I'll take some vlogging when I'm in Edinburgh, and I will upload some of them onto YouTube as well. So keep an eye on that, everybody. But from me and from John, it's good night, because I've got to go and do a little bit of packing before I head off tomorrow morning on the 10 to 10 train from Peterborough, and I get to Edinburgh at 1:20. So there we go. Oh, we've got the last few comments. Coffee says, what's John's next show? He's doing a fans forum tomorrow night, so keep your eyes open for that one, Coffee. Five Guys for something to eat, Tony, says Lee. Yeah, they're not bad. I don't mind the Wetherspoons either. Davey says, back tomorrow, North Bridge Pizza Express. Wow, excellent. Pizza Express. Yeah, I love pizza. Yeah, it's nice, and you can't beat a bit of pizza. But yeah, guys, thank you very much. It's been a great show, and as I say, from me, from John, and go and do some packing now. See you later, guys. Thank you very much. Bye bye for now.
Take care. Bye bye.
Away the lads.
Away the lads.